Welcome back. You're watching the morning news. Now, Israel has eliminated the chief architect of October 7th attacks, Yahya Sinwar. Hamas chief, commonly also referred to as the Butcher of Khan Yunis, was killed in a chance encounter by Israel forces in southern Gaza. Now, the killing of Sinwar is the biggest victory for Israel so far in its year-long war. However, Hezbollah has warned to escalate the war while Iran vowed to strengthen its resistance further. Sinwar's death follows the elimination of other key Hamas leaders, including political head Ismail Haniyeh and military leader Mohammad Deif, both of whom were killed earlier in July. Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah has also been obliterated. Prime Minister, in fact, Benjamin Netanyahu has hailed the assassination, further promising an end to Iran's reign of terror. US President Joe Biden and his deputy Kamala Harris have also congratulated Netanyahu on Sinwar's death.
Yahya Sinwar is dead. He was killed in Rafah by the brave soldiers of the Israel Defense Forces. While this is not the end of the war in Gaza, it's the beginning of the end. To the people of Gaza, I have a simple message. This war can end tomorrow. It can end if Hamas lays down its arms and returns our hostages.
Good day for the world. I'm so pleased here now to congratulate him getting Sinwar. He had a lot of blood in his hands. American blood, Israeli blood, and others.
Israel confirmed that Yahya Sinwar, the leader of Hamas, is dead, and justice has been served. And the United States, Israel, and the entire world are better off as a result. Sinwar was responsible for the killing of thousands of innocent people, including the victims of October 7 and hostages killed in Gaza. He had American blood on his hands. Today, I can only hope that the families of the victims of Hamas feel a sense and measure of relief. Sinwar was the mastermind of October 7, the deadliest day for the Jewish people since the Holocaust.
Und bei vielen anderen Gelegenheiten, das war ein furchtbarer, brutaler, menschenverachtender Angriff der Hamas auf israelische Bürgerinnen und Bürger, die getötet, vergewaltigt und auf schlimmste Weise menschlich erniedrigt worden sind, alles auch fotografiert. Und der Verantwortliche dafür war derjenige, über den jetzt diese Meldungen uns alle erreicht haben. Er war auch gewissermaßen militärisch verantwortlich für die Aktivitäten der Hamas. Und deshalb ist das etwas, was man mit in den Blick nehmen muss. Hier hat jemand, der schlimmste Verbrechen begangen hat, jetzt offenbar das Leben verloren. Und ich wiederhole, Israel hat das Recht, sich zu verteidigen gegen die Angriffe der Hamas und gegen die Hamas. Gut übrigens, dass wir das auch hier beim Europäischen Gipfel nochmal festgehalten haben als gemeinsame Position.
Times Network consultant Shinjoy Chaudhary joins me live. Shinjoy, good morning. Thank you for taking the time out to help us draw more perspective on this. How significant is this death in your opinion, and overall the implications on the war currently?
It's very significant, of course, but it will depend on what happens now. Will the Hamas look back and say, okay, let's stop this war for a while. Let's decide what to do. Let's look at review the situation. That's one. Now, will they return the hostages? That's a very important point, because if the hostages are returned, the war, as Israel says, will come to an end. Now, will Hamas return the hostages? There are 101 hostages, and they've been there for 53 weeks. Now, if that happens, then yes, perhaps there'll be a temporary ceasefire. But as far as a long-term solution is concerned, let's not forget 40,000 Palestinians, many of them women and children in the West, in Gaza, have been killed. Now, the problem is also everything has been destroyed. There is a Marshall Plan that is necessary. It will require the UN, it will require America, it will require a lot of help to start things all over again. And then, of course, there will be residual anger within the people of Gaza about all these deaths. So whether this will come, whether the war will end, we do not know. But at least let's hope the best possible solution will be, if nothing else, a temporary ceasefire. If there is a temporary ceasefire, at least in Gaza and the West Bank, then there will be fewer deaths of innocent people, including women and children. And that has to stop. There should be no more attacks like the terror attack that happened on the 7th of October. All that has to end. And then we'll have to see how it goes, because this area has been unstable for centuries, and definitely so from the middle of the 20th century. So there have been so many wars, and it's important that peace returns one day. There have been wars, 73, 67. You just have to go back and you will see how many wars there have been, not to speak of offensives, not to speak of everything that has happened in the 21st century. So it's particularly important to see what happens. One, will the hostages be returned? Will there be a ceasefire? Will the Israeli bombing stop in Gaza, if nothing else? Will there be a peace in Lebanon? All of these things are still up in the air. Yes, Israel has won a major battle. The elimination of Yahya Sinwar is a very important moment in this war, but there's a lot that remains to be done.
Shinjoy, as you put that into perspective, what does this also mean for other regions in the Middle East now?
Well, first of all, what happens in Lebanon? Israel's strikes in the Lebanon are continuing. The battle with Hezbollah is going on. The elimination of Yahya Sinwar may not have much to do with that. Then there are the Houthis who occasionally target Israel with missiles. So that will continue. Let's not forget that Iran has fired at Israel, and Israel has promised to fire back. Will that happen? Will that not happen? When will that happen if it does happen? These are all issues that are yet to be resolved. So it's not that this is that Yahya Sinwar has been killed and peace will prevail. It's not going to be as easy as that, because the Hezbollah, yes, their leaders have been eliminated, but as a fighting force, they are still effective, at least tactically. The Houthis are where they are. So all these things have to be taken into consideration as well.
Right, Shinjoy. Thank you for joining us this morning and drawing an overall perspective given the situation. Having said that, we leave the conversation there at the moment. But since we continue to track this development, let's also tell our viewers that the Israel Defense Forces have released edited drone video that they claim is of Yahya Sinwar during his final moments. Now, the edited clip shows a drone entering a damaged building where Sinwar is sitting on a chair surrounded by rubble in a room that has been wrecked. In fact, wrecked by shelling. His face is covered with cloth, possibly to hide identity, and his hands looks wounded, but he seems to be looking in the direction of the drone. The video ends showing Sinwar holding an ostensible piece of wood before he lobs it towards the drone. You're looking at the visuals of the same on your screens at the moment. Well, this is that particular moment. In fact, this particular video that we're showing you has been released by the Israel Defense Forces. It's an edited drone video is what we're given to understand. These are the exact visuals. Let's also tell you what are you essentially seeing in that. They claim that is the IDF. This is the video of Yahya Sinwar during his final moments. Just to tell you about the edited clip, shows a drone that is entering a damaged building. This is that particular visual of entering that damaged building where Sinwar is sitting on a chair surrounded by rubble in a room that's clearly wrecked by shelling. You can look at the impact of the same as well, but his face is covered with cloth, possibly to, of course, hide identity. But for the moment, we leave it at that. Now, wish